your night. If you can hit that target over there with the blue shirt. Oh.
Today we help some golfers.
I'm not even going to take care of him.
And we can help you too with a great deal on reliable, award-winning Honda. Right now you can lease the 2024 HRV Electric for $269 a month plus tax, or lease the 2024 Accord.
What's up? Earlverse. Back for more, baby. Thursday Night Live. I'm just chilling right now watching the Kings and the Los Angeles Blackhawks. First check, it's a cockpit. Super. I don't know. You want to see the dick pic? That's a hundo. To steal a phrase. Kevin Brennan. Dick pic. That's a hundo, baby doll. What up? I'm just watching the Kings Blackhawks game. I'm behind, so no spoilers. No spoilers. What is my PayPal? It's very simple. Let me get to my keyboard. I wish I had an assistant. Oh, I don't know what's going on in the Dabbleverse. Like, I don't really like talking about it, but you guys are more than welcome to now you just can't share it though. Everyone's got to pay the money, honey. But so no, I'm at 11:25 in the first period. So please, no spoilers in the. And the Kings did they score? No, I thought they scored. Sorry, my bad. I'm a little distracted. Their playoff determination is still to be decided. The Kings just scored a run. DJ, you're out of control. Hit the like button too. It's just a fun stream, and I will keep it at about an hour. We can talk about the Dabbleverse. I mean, I don't like talking about it, to be honest with you. I just don't, excuse me, I don't have anything to add to it. That hasn't been said already. Tell you, I did a stream this morning. I got to be honest with you. I think my peak performance abilities are better at night. I did 34 minutes today, and it was a struggle, but that's all good. No, the Dabbleverse is well, you might say it's like that. Now that I think about it, the Schaub Reddit thing is basically people who hate Brendan Schaub, and I think there's like 60,000 whatever. I went in there once and was called the F word that rhymes with maggot. I checked out real fast. But the Dabbleverse is more just a group of about 10 podcasters. The Shuley Network, Kevin Brennan, Chad, I guess you'd call Steel Toe part of that world, Carl, Ray DeVito, Insufferable Bastards, the Win by Two, John from Win by Two, and they all just snipe each other and shit on each other. And I've been a guest on a lot of those shows, but it's just not my jam, I think I did three or four miserable men's show with Shuley, Bob Levy, and Mike Morris. I think I texted Shuley after the last one going, bro, I don't think I'm the guy for you. I got nothing on this Stuttering John guy. A Stuttering John, I guess, also. And then you got some people on the periphery, like, who was it? Kevin, no, not Kevin. Kate Meany and yeah, I mean, basically, I mean, Are You Ready to Rock? That's a better way. I know 2 shows in one day. You know, I'm just trying it out. I think I'm gonna stick to nighttime programming. Um, yeah, basically, all these podcasts are trolling each other, and it's fun. I mean, listen, I have 17 people in here. They have hundreds of people. I have like Melton is on right now. I think he has like 600 people, and Bob or no, Kevin Brennan had Jesus, I think he had close to 1,000 today. Shuley has routinely over 1,000. Chad has a couple hundred. Ray has at least 200. So I'm very far behind in terms of that world, but I'm okay with that. I make my play money or whatever you want to call it with voiceovers. So, Earl, you still going Hackmania? Yes, I am. How do I donate on YouTube? I mean, I guess super chats, gifted memberships. I think you can super like or super thanks on videos now. Or you can just PayPal me directly, I guess. eSkakel@AOL.com. I mean, I think you guys know this, but maybe Are You Ready doesn't know it. YouTube takes 30%. Plus, you got to pay taxes on the 70% you make. So I guess it's more profitable on PayPal. But I'm not really streaming for money, to be honest with you. So I don't have any ambition of becoming rich streaming. But hey, a super chat here and there is cool. Yeah, I mean, I've never met Ray before. Obviously, I've done his podcast a few times. Oh yeah, I mean, I didn't even know who that dude. I watched Ray's stream today for I don't know, maybe a couple minutes, so I didn't know who that guy was. That's how out of the loop I am, to be honest with you. Like, I don't pay attention to that stuff. So I had no idea. I thought the black dude was a comic. Is Lois back from Janice's house? I think you're crossing me with the Red Band. Lois is with Gail, my ex-girlfriend from 4 ex-girlfriends ago, which shows you how old Lois is. So, well, I wouldn't say fuck them. Are You Ready to Rock? I mean, you know, I think 30% is excessive, to be honest with you. I mean, managers and agents take anywhere from 15 to 25%. I think a fair price would be 20%. Um, I mean, a very fair price would be 15, but it is their platform, and I'm pretty good at you know believing they should get paid too. I mean, without me, or without YouTube, that you guys wouldn't know who I was. So yeah, and Gail and Janice are very cool. I love Janice. She cooked me dinner the last time I stayed at Red Band's. A nice pasta dish, if I remember correctly, but it was about 2 years ago. So, um, I'm big fans of Janice and Red Band, and I was just talking with someone the other night, I think last night, about Red Band and how he is a unheralded star of the podcast world. I mean, he basically started the Joe Rogan Experience in terms of the technological stuff and Your Mom's House and Kill Tony. And I hope he gets compensated. Welcome to Bonzo Barry. That I don't know what that means, to be honest with you. I'm assuming you just bought a membership. So that gets the ray gun. And for those of you wondering what Bonzo Barry means, Bonzo Barry was my favorite character from the Miami Vice episode where Izzy and the Noog Man steal the dump truck. And they stole it to sell to the fence, Bonzo Barry. Yes, I'm official. So I don't know what Bonzo Barry gets you, to be honest with you. I forgot Are You Ready to Rock? But I appreciate that. And, I always say this at every stream, but I do think it's important because I do think streaming people in the chat, they're unsure of how to support the streamer. So, obviously you can super chat any amount, I think up to $500 or you can give as much as $500 a day. I guess the same thing. And then you can do gifted memberships where you basically buy people memberships in the stream. Now I don't have enough members to do member only chats, but maybe one day when I have that, I will. And I guess you can do super thanks on video. So if you see one of my stand-up clips and you like it, you can, I guess donate whatever amount you want. No, I'm not asking you to. Are you ready to rock? I'm just answering someone's question. How much for a private show? I mean, I don't have enough members I don't think that would be financially beneficial to me at the moment. So I'd rather just have everyone here and, do it that way. Well, I don't know if Red Band learned technical stuff from Joe. I think Joe learned from him. And what I mean by that is I don't think Joe had the technological ability to do the Joe Rogan Experience on his own. I think that was all Red Band. And then I'm not sure how Jamie came into the picture, but it's all good. Are you ready? I seen you earlier, but chat was fast. Yeah, every now and then I like to, jump in other people's chats. Yeah, I mean, I don't know why Red Band left, but I see Red Band is still periodically on Joe's show. So, he's a killer producer, bro. I mean, look at the shows. I mean, Joe Rogan Experience, Your Mom's House. So two of the biggest podcasts in the world have Red Band's fingerprints on them. And I don't know if you would call Kill Tony a podcast. I guess it would be a live podcast. So one of the biggest live podcasts, once again, has Red Band's fingerprints on it. Good evening, Karmic. Welcome to the Earlverse stream. We do about hour streams here, so welcome aboard. Oh, I mean, yeah, I don't watch Kill Tony, so yeah, I think Rogan is a loyal guy, and he, I think, he's taking care of a lot of people. I'm not one of them, but I don't hate. If you look at the people Rogan has popped, Joey Diaz, Theo, Tom Segura, Christina, Hinchcliffe. I mean, Hinchcliffe was working at Starbucks, 10 years ago. And because Joe took a liking to him, bam, Schaub, Callan, D'Elia, back in the day. And, if you are ever lucky enough to go to the mothership, he's taking care of, Jesus Christ, all the door guys who are comics. He built a comedy-friendly club. All the security guys are like MMA guys that he knows. He flew out Adam Egat, the booker from the store. Now is the booker of the mothership. And I think Carrie Mitchell, the head bartender, bar manager, I guess she is. Yeah, Ari Shafir, Duncan. I mean, Joe's done a lot, and he often doesn't get the thank you for it because people just go, he's fucking rich. But I think it's pretty cool what he's done. And I don't think I'd have fun on Kill Tony. It's not for me, to be honest with you. I never really felt I was good on Kill Tony, because I was actually trying to give comedy advice. What up, William Zoom? I don't really find it alluring or appealing or whatever you want to call it, shitting on open micers, who can't fire back at me. That's why I loved Roast Battle. Is for the most part, I picked my opponents, and I just didn't. I didn't have fun shitting on some comic who can't fire back at me. It's not my thing. I think it's a perfect show for Tony, to be honest with you. Tim Dillon's cool. He's always nice to me. Dusty Loads, the American Cream. I don't. Well, no, I'm talking. It's a comedy-friendly club for the stand-ups, and I got to be honest with you. When I played it a couple weeks ago, the crowd was really into it because they lock your phone, so they're not going. Checking their Instagram or tweeting or whatever. They are listening to every fucking word you say. So I think deep down the audience likes it, in my opinion. Yes, let's do a subliminal self-help. Let's get Earl on Joe Rogan. Hey, man, you just throw it out there. You don't do it. You don't tweet it, Joe. You don't tweet it, Red Band. You just let it out there. Beloved Chatter, $1.99. Do you have a firm opinion on butt plugs? I've never used a butt plug before. I don't really have a reason, to be honest with you. Juan Brennan, is that another Lost Brennan family member? Met you at a rat show at the OC Fair. I had better seats. What the fuck? Get out of town, man. Yes, I remember that was a Friday night. And that it wasn't really rat, to be honest with you. It was Stephen Piercy on bass. No, Stephen Piercy on vocals. Juan Crocier on bass. The drummer from Black and Blue, I forget his name, Pete Holmes, not the comic. And then Jordan Ziff on lead guitar. And then the other guy I don't remember. That was a good show. And I didn't have great seats. I was sitting with the poors that night. But now that I'm making so much money in this stream, I can definitely pay for better seats next time. Let me see here. Got to water all the plants, Colt. Let me see here. Expanding the ropey loads. Jesus, you guys love talking about loads. No Warren, no Rat. Belly Ooga. I agree with you there. It's just something about DeMartini's sound. Although I will say Jordan Ziff, no one sounds like DeMartini. He's got that tone. He did a good job, though. I'll give him that. And Eric Fiorentino, who is the lead guitarist in Piercy's solo band, the Dirty Rats. Same thing. He does his best to sound like DeMartini, but he just doesn't. Jesus, now we have a actual person in chat, ropey loads. You guys love talking about loads. I'd almost rather talk about the Dabbleverse. Almost. Who's in better shape, you or the Undertaker? Well, he's probably in better shape. I'm in great shape for 55. Well, I don't know what's going on here, Spurgsnick. I'd almost rather start talking about Hackamania. By the way, the discount code for Hackamania for 20% off ducats is Earl. And you can follow me everywhere at Earl Skakel, if you know what I mean. So that's another way you can support people without super chatting or memberships or super thanks. You can just follow someone. And then how else can you subscribe to my channel? That helps. I don't know. I think The Undertaker's probably closer to 60. I don't have a producer, so I have to actually look up The Undertaker here. Let me do that here. The Undertaker, born 1965, so he's only 3 years older than me. So can you do a live cast wearing the Rick Rude tights? I never bought them because Comedy Central would not let me wear the logo. And there was no logo. It was just the lips on the crotch, but they said it looked too much like the Rolling Stones logo. It didn't. I'm a David Lee Roth guy, but I enjoy Van Hagar. I enjoy Van Hagar very much. Yes, I feel like I struck oil in the Amazon. Well, unlike my dad. Yeah, I mean, he's been an entertainer, The Undertaker, for 40 years. So I can't imagine him not being able to speak on the mic. We can talk Van Halen talk. I mean, I'm more knowledgeable about Kiss and Rat. I always like the original lineup better, although I did like 80s Kiss more than the 70s Kiss. So, that's a rarity. Most Kiss fans like Gene, Paul, Ace, and Peter. I actually prefer Vinnie Vincent and Kiss, but he was not very faithful to the solos that Ace did. So a lot of people didn't like Vinnie. Hell, I even like the one album Mark St. John was in. By the way, hit the like button. We got 31 people in here right now, only 17 likes. Come on, kids. I mean, I don't know if he's transitioning or not, but he definitely looks feminine. So, by the way, if it seems like I'm not paying attention, I'm just watching the King game. It's a big, big game. We're either going to play the Edmonton Oilers or the Dallas Stars. Once BC started being a reg, looks like we made it. I don't know what that means. Like it, bitches. I know what that means. Is there going to be a comeback of the Jellies? Was the best show. I certainly hope so, because then I wouldn't have to stream. No, I'm just kidding. I'd still stream. Tyler's so impulsive that I could see him calling me up, go, hey, let's do it again after 3-year break. I'm not going to lie. I don't think there's a tremendous demand to see it back. But, it was a hit show by cartoon standards. I mean, it was not South Park, but, by any stretch. But, like, it was a big enough hit where I think Comedy Central would absolutely have loved to have had it back. Or, I'm sorry, Adult Swim. I think it's still on 3 networks: Adult Swim, the Cartoon Network, and HBO Max. And HBO Max last year they cut 70% of their animation, and they kept the Jellies. So I don't know what you mean by that, Kongzilla. Owning the day. I didn't really watch MLC that much, and I watched Ray's podcast for literally under a minute. I would love to be on Aqua Teen Hunger Force. I don't like CM Punk, but I also know about 10 people in AEW who know him, and they all say the same thing, that he's kind of a dick. I met him once at Equinox. I think you guys have heard this story a zillion times. And, I said, hey, you're one of the reasons I still watch. And he just looked at me and goes, don't say that. In exactly that tone. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. I do have a deep and unique voice. And the older I've become, the deeper it's gotten, which is great. But in the voiceover world, having a deep, rich baritone voice, it's the best and the worst category you can be in because there's not many people who have my voice. But that also means I'm going up against pretty much only celebrities. So I go up against Dylan McDermott, Rob Riggle, Billy Brown, James Earl Jones. Now, James Earl Jones doesn't audition. He just gets the gig. But so I have to hope all those guys are busy. And then it's down to about between me and like 5 other people who all work. I mean, we all work. Yeah, Kelsey Grammer is a pretty deep voice. I don't think so. I mean, the people I know at What Up, Shane Kelly, one of the good ones. It feels like I've disowned KB a little. No, I just don't have anything to say on those shows anymore. Like, what am I going to sit there and say? Ray sucks, Chad sucks. This guy's a drunk. This guy sucks. It's not really interesting to me anymore. And to be honest with you, it was never really that interesting. But I'm a big fan of Kevin for making money off of it, and Shuley as well. These guys have turned the art of trolling online into an incredibly profitable business. I mean, believe me, I know if I trolled more, I'd make a lot more money. And I'd have, instead of 29 people in here, I'd have 290 people. But it's just not my thing. No, I don't hate MLC. I don't like any of those shows. But I think there's far better guests for MLC than me. Chad's great on it. Ray's great on it. Ray gets piled on. I would not. No one's ever going to talk to me like Kevin talks to Ray. No way. But I get it. That's why you guys watch the show in Super Chat. I mean, listen, I know that the topics that I talk about on here, hockey, wrestling, and whatnot, are not as fun to say, well, this guy sucks, and this guy's a Piazza, and that guy's a Panini, and I just not. I'm not in that game, and don't think I have thought about, let's just start talking shit about people. It's just not, it would be fake for me. What up, Dr. Chow, the Mega G? Hold on, I got to answer this text. But, I'm happy with how I'm doing it. I mean, I do see more wrestling fans coming in here. And, obviously in like a year from now, I would love it to be like all wrestling and hockey fans. And then you guys who, want to ask me comedy questions or whatever. I mean, that's my long-term goal for this stream. Hopefully it works. So I hope you guys stay on board for that. Yeah, I loved Brody. Brody was supposed to do my podcast the day he, did what he did. So, unfortunately, Brody was positive. It's like comedy's a depressing world. We lose 2 to 3 people a year in the comedy world. I would say 2 out of those 3 are suicide, and one's like an illness, cancer, or whatnot. So hold on, let me just. Sorry, guys, I don't have a producer, so I have to do stuff like this every now and then. Hey, Earl, what up, Grimace in Pain? Well, it's constant rejection, and I actually have it worse than anyone because not only do I get rejected for stand-up gigs, like I'm not even on the Netflix as a joke festival. You've got literally shitty open micers on that thing. You've got people who were news reporters. Sami Zayn, the wrestler, has his own show. That's fucking nuts to me. That's like literally me getting WrestleMania. Um, Yeah, Brody was a great man. We had a lot of laughs in the Comedy Store parking lot. But I also, get rejected in the voiceover world too. So I've got to deal with that shit. But I do well enough in that where I'm not going to say I don't care, but I can deal with the rejection pretty easily. But a lot of people can't. I would say um, that 90% of the people that I started with quit. It's a tough business, man. And if you can, especially in LA, if you do comedy for money in LA, you'll quit after 2 months. There is no money in comedy in LA unless you're at the, like pass at the Comedy Store, like Saturday night. I'm gonna make about $500 for 1 hour of work. But that's one set a week. It's not like I'm, getting that 6 nights a week. So all my friends told me I was funny, and they were all agents and managers. So I said, "Fuck it, you should start auditioning as Billy from Predator." "Major, you better take a look at this. Blaine's body, it's gone. Um, the only way out of here is through that valley through the east. But I wouldn't waste that on a rope dick dog." Um, Earl's one of the only people I made Brody laugh. Yeah, I did. Brody found me funny, and Brody was one of the few people that I would watch do stand-up comedy. Like usually, like you guys know, I don't watch comedy, but when Brody was on in the main room, usually, I would watch Brody. I'd watch Brian Holtzman, Don Barris, and that's about it. Anyone else, I don't watch comedy, but it's all good. Don, not Dom. Donnie Barris. Bruiser Brody. He probably wouldn't have been very funny, to be honest with you. You'd probably just laugh at him on the fear that he'd fucking kill you. Yeah, I keep it real. I speak factually. Um, and I think that's what makes me a fan favorite. Um, you might not think I'm funny. You might not like how I express myself, but the one thing nobody will ever say about me is that I'm a liar. And I like that. Um, so, you just have to, um, you love me or you don't love me. But that's the great thing about the streaming world. If you don't like how I talk, if you think I'm boring, watch someone else's stream. Uh, no, I'm good. I work alone. I don't stream snipe, and I don't fucking have guests on this. I talk for about an hour, and then that's a tough one. I would say late career Hogan. Tommy was very thin. I love you, Dominic, but I'll talk about what I want to talk about. Like I know a lot of people were like, "Stop talking about roast battle," but you know what? Fuck it. When it bothers me, I'll talk about it. But I realize it's probably boring to a lot of people. It's like, bro, it was 8 years ago. You gotta let it go. No, I don't let it go. I told you, I'm like the Mossad. I don't let go of anything, and I'll get my revenge. Trust me on that one. I got revenge on one guy like 3 years later. He had no clue. Oops. Didn't get brought back for that TV show, did you? Uh, yeah, I mean, I opened up for Jake the Snake once in LA. And we got along. We didn't talk a lot, but I would say, oh boy, that's a tough one. That's a tie. They're definitely both pretty racist. I've tried to reach out to Dizzy Dean Davidson, but he's kind of hard. He's like Tex Cobb, man. He's hard to get a hold of. Chips Enough said he would do my stream, or my podcast. I don't know what Paul Bear is up to. I thought he died. Didn't he die? Um, The Dabbleverse is the place where the dumber, crazier, and dishonest you are, the more. Yeah, I mean, that's another thing. Dr. Chow, like, I, you know, it's just, I'm too honest. So, and I'm not smart, but I'm not dumb either. And I get it, like, but no one's gonna talk to me like Kevin talks to Chad or Ray. But that's even Kevin told me once, he's like, dude, don't get too close to me. I'll turn on you too. I like Kevin's honesty. I mean, Kevin's almost the same way as me. Like you can say you don't like Kevin's presentation or whatever, but he don't lie. Yeah, Chip is an awesome guy. Probably the funniest thing. Hold on, let me get an energy drink. Hold on, kids. Don't spoil the King game for me. I'm behind. I am behind. Sorry about that. What? Jesus, Dr. Nova coming in hot. Hold on, I'm a little behind reading. Earl, your performance in Montreal is all time. No one can top it. I mean, I'm really the only memorable battler in the history of the show. I mean, everyone remembers me. Beating Jimmy Carr, beating K. Trevor Wilson, beating Tom Ballard, beating Jesse Joyce. And yet I never got the show again. Shit. And that's fine. That's why the show sucked without me. I mean, someone sent me the brackets for the Netflix as a joke roast battle. It's horrible. It's 3 good roasters and 13 people who are just open mic level comics. But that's Jeff in a nutshell. Let's have 3 good people out of 16, and I'll be the funniest guy, and who cares who wins? Fuck that. And the funny thing is, this is another reason I don't like him. Like all these young comics who do the weekly show at the Comedy Store still, none of them are on it. So they just keep the show going for Jeff until like a festival says, hey, let's do a roast battle. So Jeff abandons all those guys. And then, it's embarrassing. Who had more crypt keeper like skin, Laney Kelber or Argus Hamilton? That's a tough one. You do ask some good questions, Dr. Nova. Well, have you ever performed at a bar mitzvah? No, but I did perform at a Jewish lawyer's holiday party. Pew! Honesty is a virtue, but not in the Dabbleverse, or really not in the streaming world. I mean, I know right now in this stream, if I started talking shit about Kevin, Steel Toe, Melton, Chad, Bob Levy, Shuley, who else? It doesn't matter. I'd have 330 people in this stream right now, and I'd probably be at $500-600 in super chats. Hey, Earl, say this about this guy, but it's just not my thing, man. And I don't think I haven't been tempted, but it's just not. Eating a candy apple would give you even more energy. Did you just shit your pants? I did not. Get any heat from the Jimmy Carr fan base? I did. Because I don't think the Jimmy Carr fan base realizes the rules of roast battle. And now I did have one joke that completely bombed against Jimmy Carr, and Jimmy was consistent. He was more consistent than me. But Seth Rogen, who I'd never met before, and Jimmy Kimmel, who I'd met once before, they gave me bonus points or whatever you want to call it because I didn't read my jokes. Because the one joke I bombed, I just forgot the first part of it. I was fucking petrified up there. You know, it's my first time on TV. You know, it's an international television audience. So, you know, probably 1 million people were watching worldwide. You know, people in the UK and, roast battle. There's like 100 different roast battles now. Roast battle Australia. So, you know, I would say 1 million people were watching me on stage. There's 1,000 people in the, not the arena, but the nightclub we were in. And, so if I could have just had a clipboard like Jimmy and read my jokes, the joke would have killed because it's a great joke. But, so I think Seth and Jimmy's point was, well, Jimmy, you're reading your jokes. Earl's not. That's unfair. We're going to vote for Earl. But I think that Jimmy's fan base, like, fuck that guy, man. One guy said on Reddit, you'll never get off the plane if you come to the UK. Like a death threat because I beat some guy in a roast battle. And Jimmy don't give a fuck. Jimmy's like the biggest comic in the world. You think he cares about losing roast battle? I talk to Jimmy every time I see him. He's always cool. Shane Kelly. Yeah. Ty Rivera is catching hell. Yeah, well, I think, Ty, what he's doing is, I mean, I don't know if I would do it how he's doing it. I mean, I appreciate his honesty, but like when you just moved to Austin, I think he's been in Austin about a year, if I'm not mistaken. And, you shit all over the number one club, arguably in the country, definitely the number one club in Austin. And then I saw this week he was shitting on the Creek and the Cave and Rebecca. So that's the number 2 club in Austin. You're going to run out of clubs to play. So, but, Ty's a very smart guy. And, I'm sure he, it's like when I talked about Roast Battle and Jeff, I asked myself a question. Okay, what's going to be the blowback? Is it worth burning the bridge that I'll never get to work with Jeff Ross again? Absolutely. Like, it couldn't have been any more worth it. Trust me on that one. So, I'm sure Ty's made a calculated decision to make those videos. And, listen, Ty's channel's pretty big. I think he's got like 50,000 subs and I've got 2,300. So maybe I should start doing what Ty's doing. Well, I mean, the Jimmy's car story was just, I think I just told it more or less, but I'll tell you, like, so, when I used to be the heckler, I think Comedy Central started, watching the show and they're like, hey, they were still unsure of the show, to be honest with you. I don't think Comedy Central initially liked the show. And I know Jeff didn't like the show because Jeff told a friend of mine, who's going to want to watch Earl and a bunch of other unknown comics badmouth each other? They're not going to get the jokes. But that's the beauty of Roast Battle is you don't have to get the jokes. Like, if they're well done and orchestrated, you just know that's a great joke. You don't have to know, like, if I make fun of someone for fucking my ex, you don't have to know who the ex is. It's just a funny joke. So I think Comedy Central has been like, hey, we love that guy who yells out all the racist shit, but we can't have that on television. Can he battle? So I battled my ex-girlfriend, who was my girlfriend at the time, and I beat her, and she was like the best battler at the moment. So, and then I started battling consistently, and I rarely lost. And then they put me against Jesse Joyce, on the Road to Roast Battle episode, and that was Comedy Central's #1 roast writer. And so I thought, well, why am I going against him? Like, I'm one of the founding fathers of this shit show. How about taking care of Daddy? Because everyone else was getting taken care of. Like, I don't want easy battles, but if I'm going to get a hard battle, I want everyone else to get one. It's fair. Now, you can tell me that shit comedy's not fair, and it's not, but what are you going to do? So, I beat Jesse in like a Mike Tyson knockout. And he's a great comic and a great writer, but he, his own network kind of set him up for failure because Roast Battle is, it's basically more elevated your mama jokes. It's like, hey, Earl, you look like Kenny G fucked Max Headroom, real quick, bam, bam. And Jesse's a wordsmith. So they fucking, put him up against the worst opponent because my jokes are really short and my rebuttals are even shorter. So, but my friend who works at Comedy Central, he's like, you know why you're going up against Jesse, don't you? I'm like, no, not really. And he was like, they know Jesse's just going to read his jokes and be kind of boring, and he's just going to stand there, and they know you're going to come out half naked in leather pants and all that bullshit, and you're going to make him look good, and he's going to beat you, and that didn't quite work out. And then when the brackets came out, the same guy who told me that calls me up and goes, look at the brackets, bro. You're being punished for how you beat Jesse. So I look at the brackets, and in my bracket was my friend Christy Cello, who literally just started roast battling, and Jimmy Carr and Tom Ballard. And a lot of people in the untelevised season thought that Tom beat Jimmy, but Jimmy won because Jeff pulled some bullshit. And so, in my bracket alone, we're basically the two champions. Whereas other people had like 3 people in their bracket who never fucking roasted before. Mike Lawrence had Ralphie May and Miss Pat in his bracket. I think they had one battle between the two of them. So, and then so I beat Tom Ballard, and Tom fucking, pardon the pun, but Tom killed Tony in the untelevised season. So I knew that, oh, fuck, man, I could go home the first night because Tom's a killer. And so, I beat Tom, and then I beat Jimmy, and then I lost to Sarah Tiana, but then I beat K. Trevor Wilson. And to beat K. Trevor Wilson in Canada is unheard of. Like, that guy is the fucking king of Canada. I think he's the Canadian champ. So to not get another season when I did all that shit, fuck those guys. SCB, Earl, can you look back now and appreciate Jeff Ross gave you the opportunity to go on that season of Roast Battle? Absolutely not. I could flip it on you, SCB, and say, if not for me, Roast Battle, Jeff wasn't around Roast Battle the first 2 years. And like from 2013 to 2015, he was not on the show. And the battles back then were fucking horrible. If you had 4 battles a night, 2 would be god awful, 1 would be bad, and then 1 would maybe be decent. People were coming for me and Moses. So I could flip it on you, bro, and say, Jeff should be more grateful to me for keeping the show so he could rip off everyone. But that's the facts. Yeah, Ian, but Ian's too big of a comic to do Roast Battle, to be honest with you. And then I never got the show again. Like 3 people who I beat got all 3 seasons. Tell me how that makes any sense. Any sense. I have more wins my season of Roast Battle than Hinchcliffe had in 3 seasons. And I love Tony, but like, how does that make any sense? Matt Broussard lost to Jimmy Carr. I beat Jimmy Carr. He got all 3 seasons. And Matt's a great guy. He's an awesome dude. So I think my frustration with the show is very it's valid. It's very valid. So Pierre-Luc Dubois got the puck. He's my favorite player, and everyone hates him on the Kings. It's not like, you know, it was just wrong how he was treated. But I mean, like, Tony got the untelevised season 1 and season 3. And I have more wins in my one season than Tony had in all 3 of those seasons. So it's just kind of like, you know, I'm happy that Tony got all 3 seasons or whatever, but like, you know, I was more deserving. And you know, those 2 years, people were not coming for Tony's judging. They were coming for me and Moses. So I'm a very loyal person, as you can tell. So yeah, but my point is, SCV, if I would have gotten all 3 seasons, it would have been better for my career, and I was very deserving of that. I do. Don't treat me bad. CJ Snare, rest in peace. We're gonna do another 10 minutes, guys. I'm friends with a couple of the Kings and their whole equipment staff, so I can pretty much go to any game I want. Let me thank the tippers tonight. You know, I like to make the tippers feel special. So thank you very much to Are You Ready to Rock for buying a Bonzo Berry membership, Beloved Chatter, and Juan Brennan for their tipping tonight. I appreciate it. How far are you from the forum? About 20 minutes with no traffic. Hello, Brittany. I love goalie fights. My favorite goalie fight is Ray Emery against Andrew Peters. Well, I don't know if you can say Bedard can't skate. He's just on a shitty team. One time, brother. I don't know what that means. Knee time, brother. I think actually, if you want a good fight, my lost interest, I'm going to tune you into Steve Shields and Garth Snow is a great fight. Anytime, yes. Well, I like Tongue Kiss Blue Iris or Quickly Tongue, like one of Ralphie May's deeper fat rolls. Which do you do? Cut off my tongue. How about that? If Ross invites you back to the show for best of all time battlers, would you do it? Absolutely not. I'm done making a Jeff Ross show better. Because what do I get out of that? Nothing. You know, absolutely nothing. Hey, Earl, will you battle some open mic comic? No. I wouldn't even battle him. You know, I really wanted to battle him like 2 years ago, but then I realized he would just have my ex-girlfriend write him 5 shit jokes. Believe me, I'm comfortable going against her writing. And so I wouldn't even be battling him. I'd be battling her again. And I already beat her. So I'll definitely cut my tongue off. Yeah. Well, there's been some good fights. I mean, Felix Potvin and Hextall was a good one. But and you can look up the Steve Shields Garth Snow. Just look up Islanders Sabres brawl. And what also makes the video is Rick Jenneret's call. And here comes Shields. and there was so much going on in that fight, you know, because who was it? I think Daniel Lacroix was kind of holding Shields so Snow could get going. And then once Shields and Snow separated, Brad May came in and threw a punch at Garth Snow so Shields could get going. I mean, there was a lot of moving parts in that fight. I might have Piercy back on. It'd be easy to do a Zoom. I used to be anti-Zoom, but you know, now I can, you know, I realize that if I do YouTube inappropriate Earls that I can you know, put them on YouTube and, you know, get a couple hundred views. So, and Steven loves me. So this is a tight King game, 1-1 right now with 12:26 left to go in the second period. Hextall was a madman. I tell you what, you know, I like to turn people on to certain fights or whatever you want to call them. Look up Tampa Bay Philly Rough. Tampa Philly rough or Tampa Bay Tampa Bay rough or Tampa rough Philly. It's the greatest playoff series of all time. It's the Flyers and the Tampa Bay Lightning. Um, the Flyers had lost game 1 to the Lightning, and game 2 was just a fucking like it was football. It was out of control. The Lightning had um, had a strategy of bulldozing Eric Lindros with Igor Ulanov, Michel Petit, and Corey Cross, and it was unbelievable. I mean, Lindros spears Petit in the face, doesn't get a penalty, and he broke Petit's nose. And Petit's just going after Lindros. And Petit was not a small guy. He was about 6'2", 205, but Lindros was about 6'4", 240. So, and then Petit was going after John LeClaire, and then Ulanov would take these massive runs. I mean, it was awesome. And Hextall was the goalie for the Flyers. One of my favorite playoff series. And I'm a King fan, but oh my God, dude, I wish when Lindros' rookie year, I probably bought like 50 Lindros rookie cards. I thought, oh my God, this is going to be a couple $100,000 of cards. And, he had a good career, but, injuries really fucked him up, the concussions. And I mean, even in that game, I'm talking about game 2 of the 95-96 playoffs, Poshek knees him in the fucking head. And then a couple minutes before that, Rudy Poshek, one of my favorites, Lindros got by him really easily, and then Poshek slashes him in the arm and basically cross-checks him in the head, hitting his head against the post. Like, it was like wild. So let me see if I can get that for you guys, the exact let me go on YouTube, and because I'm underselling how great this video is. Let's see, Tampa Philly rough. Let's see. God, it's the thumbnail is Michel Petit's face. So let's hold on, because if I can leave you guys with one thing tonight, it's that Petit Lindros. Okay, so look up Lightning dash Flyers rough stuff 4/25/96. It's a 12-minute video that is a fucking insane look into one game. And then game 6, when the Flyers were starting to pour it on, the Lightning just went full jungle mode. So, for you hockey fans, we got 2 more minutes left, guys. 2 more minutes. And then my night is over. So one more time, let me thank the Tippas. Are you ready to rock? Beloved chatter, and Juan Brennan. I believe Juan Brennan is new to my stream anyway, but I appreciate it. And I also think, based on how many people I had in here this morning, I'm probably going to stick to nights. I think Melton was on for a little bit before this, so I try not to go on when someone else is on, but like I said, at some point you got to go on. But I do appreciate you guys listening, tuning in, super chatting, buying memberships, or just watching the videos. The Earl Army is small. Tim Dillon once told me in the back of the main room of the Comedy Store, the main room, green room. Good night, S. Steven. He's like, Earl, all you need to be a star in this business is 2,000 fans who consistently buy your product. And so, I don't think I have those 2,000 fans yet, but, I've got, I think 50 to 100 people who check out the stream in varying times. So I have to find, I'm like AEW. I've got to find a way. I've got a core fan base, but I've got to find a way to, get the hockey fans in here, get the wrestling fans in here, and but keep you guys in here so I could get like 100 to 200 people, in here, and a couple more super chats or whatever, and I'm a happy man. So that is it for the Earlverse live Thursday night, baby dolls. Yeah, I'm underground. I'm like Jim Rome when he was doing his radio show, like literally at 2 a.m. in Santa Barbara. Yeah, we're gonna do. Oh shit, Kongzilla. I was just about to hit in stream. Kongzilla coming in hot. $5. Earl and Kamala rule. I mean, where else do you get a ray gun when you super chat? Thank you, Kongzilla. Earl has the voice of a main character in a period crime drama that is a cross between Miami Vice and Bad Lieutenant, about a burnout police negotiator. I'd be great to do the beginning if they ever fire the guy who does the Law and Order voiceover. This is Law and Order. Victims. Every day there's 300 rapes in New York City, and that's just at the comedy clubs. Pew! You too, Brittany. Thank you very much. Have a good night, everyone. Thank you, Kongzilla, for the late chat. You'll get Melton's fans once they realize he prefers the company of other men. I don't care if he does or not. I don't care about someone's sexuality. I just want more people in here, to be honest. Like, I enjoy talking to you guys and interacting. So, I mean, I would do it for free, to be honest with you. But, the fact that you can make some money, honey, doing it, it doesn't suck. So how much did I make in this stream tonight? Let's just add it up real fast. $1.99, $6.99, $11.99 plus membership. I don't know how much a membership Bonzo Bear. So I made about $15 for an hour's worth of work. That's like minimum wage. Shit. And I didn't ask for any of it. So take that, Dabbleverse. Well, let's make it happen. There are other ways you can help the daddy man. Tweet at Adult Swim. Tweet at Adult Swim. Hey, how come Barry Jelly's not on the air? But shit like that works. Put up a picture of Barry Jelly and go, when do we get to hear Barry Jelly's voice again on HBO, at HBO Max, at Twitter? I'd almost rather get that than a super chat. Because all it takes is for one executive from Adult Swim or HBO Max. Well, let me listen to the Jellies. Yeah, that guy does have a good voice. Hello and goodbye.